Hello you beautiful misfits, my name is Matt and this is the second of my E3 2016 Blitzkriegs, covering the Bethesda conference. On a related note, I am currently subsisting entirely on ginseng tablets, caffeine and cheese. Bethesda's conference also started a little bit later than scheduled, but when it finally did, holy fucking shit, it's Quake. Well, that's certainly an attention grabber. Yep, the classic arena shooter is returning under the name Quake Champions, and from this pre-rendered cinematic it looks to have many of the familiar staples of the series, such as rocket launchers, lightning guns and special abilities? And I don't mean power-ups like your quad damages, your flights and your hastes that anyone can pick up and use either. We're talking character-specific abilities like this bloke's blatant wall hack like one, or this blue-haired lass and her talent for teleportation. And that may well be a bone of contention for many Quake purists who are likely hoping for a much more traditional arena shooting experience, where your skill is measured by your ability to master advanced manoeuvres like strafe and rocket jumping for example, and not whether your character is the right class or has the right cooldown ability to counter another player's character. You know, the reason some people are still playing Quake Live and not something like, well, something like Overwatch. After that reveal, which wasn't too surprising considering how well the new Doom turned out, long-term id Software veteran Tim Willits came on stage to confirm Quake Champions will be PC only and that more information about it will be revealed at this year's QuakeCon in August. Bethesda boss man person Pete Hines then took over to officially welcome everyone to the showcase, then reeled off a list of Bethesda games along with the awards they won, like Fallout 4 winning a BAFTA award for Game of the Year, the new Doom being released to rave reviews, Fallout Shelter claiming numerous Mobile Game of the Year awards, and The Elder Scrolls Online being named MMO of the Year for 2015. That last one initially confused some people, including myself, with some even accusing Pete Hines of making it up. But no! It did actually win an award, honest to God, for Best MMO of 2015 from MMORPG.com. So there you go. I still haven't a single shred of interest in actually playing it, but well done Bethesda nonetheless. Pete Hines then spoke a bit about Elder Scrolls Legends, Bethesda's forthcoming free-to-play collectible card game which they first announced at their very first E3 showcase last year, and according to Pete here, he's quite the fan of strategy card games.
As I said last year, I am a huge fan of these games. I play them a lot.
Did you play Gwent? All Bethesda had to show of the game this second year running was the opening cinematic, featuring a talking owl so cosmically powerful it momentarily killed the live stream for about 20 seconds. Alright, it wasn't really the owl talking, it was the bloke whose shoulder it was sitting on. In my own personal Elder Scrolls Legends headcanon however, that owl is the one in charge. There was also a snippet of something resembling gameplay, but it was so brief you could blink and miss it, and what I did manage to catch of it only reminded me of Hearthstone. If you're the kind of fan of all things Elder Scrolls who knows the chemical composition of moon sugar, has memorised the 36 sermons of Vivek, and can explain what the hell that whole Kim thing is about, or whether you're like Pete Hines and can't get enough of strategy card games, this may stir a modicum of excitement in your heart. You can even head over to Bethesda's website to sign up for the beta if you're so inclined. For the rest of us however, well, it's hardly on par with last year's Fallout 4 announcement in the anticipation stakes, is it? Speaking of Fallout 4, Todd fucking Howard popped up in a pre-recorded segment filmed at Bethesda's Maryland studio, where I assume he'll be staying until he can be trusted not to swear on stage again. More's the pity. Todd was here in spirit to announce some new content for Fallout 4, starting with the Contraptions DLC, which will let you add elevators, armour stands and weapon racks to your settlement, along with track kits, sorting machines and conveyor belts with which to make your own Rube Goldberg machine. The next bit of DLC on show was the Vault Tech add-on due out in July, giving players all the things they need to build their own underground vault, which they can then fill with unwilling vault dwellers to perform mad sadistic experiments on. And finally there was Nuka World, the next big proper expansion to Fallout 4, similar to the recent Far Harbor DLC. Meanwhile, Fallout Shelter, the mobile and tablet vault management diversion Bethesda announced and released at last year's E3, is getting a whopping great content update and also coming to PC. After thanking fans for all their support, Todd then dropped in a little hint regarding something else. Something lots of fans have been asking for and eagerly awaiting any news about.
There is something else though that you've been asking us about, and yes, we've been working on it.
Say no more, Todd. Say no more. I get exactly what you're talking about and I'm ready, believe me, so hit me with it. Hit me with that sweet, sweet Terminator Future Shock sequel. That's what you're announcing, right? Well, no, it wasn't, obviously. Nor was it The Elder Scrolls 6. Instead, the next main Elder Scrolls game to be released will be the previous Elder Scrolls game, in the form of the Skyrim Special Edition for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and PC. That last one seeming a bit pointless given PC Skyrim owners are literally swamped with mods, like giving a Cadbury's Dairy Milk you bought at a petrol station to the magical king of the land of chocolate. Speaking of mods, besides prettier graphics, the console versions of the Skyrim Special Edition will also feature mod support, which instantly leads me to suspect Bethesda will try and push that whole paid mod scheme again like they did last year, because that totally wouldn't encourage even more people to steal mods from their original creators and then rehost them on consoles like they're doing right now, hey Bethesda. After that pre-recorded segment, sadly lacking in fucking swearing, it was time for Rafael Colantonio of Arcane Studios, accompanied by the main theme to Dishonored, to come up on stage and present. Oh yeah, this is the moment I've been waiting for.
In 2012, we released Dishonored. We were thrilled that the game was so well received by the gamers and the critics all around the world.
Dishonored 2, Dishonored 2, Dishonored 2, Dishonored 2.
After that launch, my friend and director Harvey Smith took the lead on Dishonored 2, so he went to France in Lyon and worked with the team over there.
Dishonored 2, Dishonored 2, Dishonored 2, Dishonored 2.
Meanwhile, I have been busy in Austin working on something else with the team in Austin.
Dishonored 2, 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 Dishonored 2.
Good morning, Morgan. Today is Monday, March 15th, 2032. You have a 9 a.m. appointment with Alex in his office.
This isn't Dishonored 2.
In Prey.
Oh. Oh. Yep, turns out those rumours about a Prey reboot, the ones Bethesda and Arcane vehemently denied, had more than a smidgen of truth to them. So well done Jason Schreier at Kotaku for getting the scoop on that one way back in May of 2013. Credit where it's due, you press sneak fuck. People who were looking forward to the Prey 2 first unveiled at E3 2011 will understandably be a bit disappointed by this, and I am as well, to some extent. The concept of a lone human bounty hunter in an alien metropolis was an interesting one, and I'd dearly love to see a developer take a crack at it. System Shock 1 and 2 are two of my favourite games ever though, and New Prey here's got a System Shock vibe so strong I can almost hear Shodan herself whispering insults in the background.
It is my will that gave you your cybernetic implants. The only beauty in that meat you call a body.
Plus, with an official System Shock 3 also in the works, that means I've now got two such games to look forward to, after years of having none. After that revelation, a pre-recorded Marty Stratton of id Software talked about some more content for Doom. The new Doom, naturally, starting with additional free content for fans of the game's SnapMap mode. As well as new hell-themed areas, outdoor zones and rooms with actual bloody windows in them, there'll also be the ability to enable the single-player mode's weapon wheel in custom levels. Because in case you didn't know, someone at id Software thought restricting players in custom levels to carrying only 2 weapons at any given time was a good idea. And not the utterly fucking stupid one it actually is. Which pretty much ticks every single box on the list of things people who use SnapMap really want added to SnapMap. Pete Hines then cracked a joke about shareware that I found genuinely amusing because I'm a cranky old man who actually remembers shareware. Far from being a random joke however, it was actually a segue to the announcement that, for a very limited time only, the first level of the new Doom will be completely free to play. Which is good news because I think that opening segment where you tear free from your restraints, put on your armour and kill a bunch of demons on your way to the exit elevator is the best advertisement the game could have. Unless someone at Polygon is playing it, of course. After that came the announcement of The Elder Scrolls Online The Dark Brotherhood, or The Elder Scrolls Online Edgelords of Tamriel, as I'm choosing to call it. A new expansion for the game that adds the titular shady fraternity of assassins for players to join, kill people for, and mope about with all morbidly. At least one person in the audience was excited for it though. Perhaps a bit too excited? Then there was some stuff about VR support for Bethesda titles called, unsurprisingly, Bethesda VR. Bethesda had some VR compatible versions of Fallout 4 and New Doom set up for people at the event to play, and it was also announced that Fallout 4 will be getting a full release on the HTC Vive, which I think is an absolutely terrible idea. Bit of a delicate type who finds Fallout 4 scary at times? Play it in VR and that fear you feel is amplified 1,000-fold. Suffer from motion sickness with first person games? Chunderstorm. Anyway, after that we came at last to the segment I had been waiting for. Some goodies about Dishonored 2 presented by Harvey Smith of Arcane Studios, who showed me everything I could have wanted and more. To the point where some peeps who maybe aren't quite as stoked to the gills about Dishonored 2 as I am, might have found this segment going on just a teensy bit too long. Just a smidgen perhaps. Those people are of course very much entitled to their opinion, as wrong as it is, although if you are one such person then please accept my apologies. I'm sorry you're so wrong. Don't even think of expecting me to be snarky or anything even approaching impartial on this one, folks. I've been waiting for Dishonored 2 ever since the first one stole my heart and turned it into a clockwork abomination that reveals people's deepest, darkest secrets. The sequel is built on an all-new engine derived from id Tech 5, takes place in a new area of the rich, Victorian-esque world established in the first game, and this time gives you a choice of playing as either the first game's protagonist, Corvo Atano, or the forcibly deposed Empress Emily Caldwell, each with their own unique abilities, reactions to story events and other such goodness. Harvey also talked a bit about Dishonored's design philosophy towards creating environments with a sense of history and place, as well as the attention given to building player immersion with the kind of little details that made the Thief series so bloody good. After that we were treated, by which I mean I was treated, to an extended gameplay segment where Emily uses a combination of new lethal and non-lethal methods to infiltrate a group of overseers and kill their commander. Then came a segment where she explores an old mansion with a strange time travel device that lets her hop between its current ruined state and its intact opulent past for a spot of fourth dimensional murder. The entire presentation was then wrapped up very nicely with the official Dishonored 2 gameplay trailer. Featuring an awesome cover of Gold Dust Woman by Fleetwood Mac, it's also packed full of tiny little lore details that have me chomping at the bit to make a trailer analysis video. Oh, there's also going to be a collector's edition of the game of course, usually something I'd instantly dismiss out of hand with nary a speck of interest, only God, I really like the look of that mask. With that done, Pete Hines then reappeared one last time to bring the proceedings to a close. So, to summarise, this conference had Dishonored 2 in it, so it automatically wins E3. You can go now. Only joking, you should know this by now. Much like their first conference last year, this event was another strong show from Bethesda, as well as the perfect antidote for the earlier EA one. Whereas the EA conference felt very insincere, straight-laced and corporate to a T, this genuinely felt like a show for the fans. This was reflected not only in the sections of screen time given to fan-created works, but also the attitude of the presenters. Pete Hines and co felt like actual human beings, not corporate androids, and the thanks they gave to their fans seemed honest and sincere. There were a couple of points that, while I hesitate to call them low ones, certainly weren't high either. Nothing absolutely terrible or insufferable though, and even these scant few stumbles were still miles above the majority of the EA conference. And most of the conferences from last year in fact. Besides, not every game on display here could be relevant to absolutely everybody's interests. They didn't have to be, and that would have been impossible anyway. Sure, it didn't have the same wow factor of last year's conference with its thrill of the new and all that, but last year's conference unveiled Fallout 4. That's a tough act for anyone to follow. In short, well done Bethesda, you put on another good show. In fact, I would say this was my favourite conference thus far. But then your only competition up to this point was EA's. PewDiePie could invite me to drink some lighter fluid with him in a skip and I'd still enjoy that more than EA's arse-paralysing sports game Wankathon. But if there's one part of the Bethesda conference that I had to say was truly disappointing, that would without a doubt be the complete lack of any swearing whatsoever from Todd Howard. That's all for the Bethesda conference this year, you beautiful misfits you. Join me for the next video in my E3 2016 Blitzkrieg where I'll be dissecting Microsoft's big shebang. In the meantime, feel free to drop me a comment below or click the like button, if only so I can be sure this isn't all just some fever dream or purgatorial nightmare.